One of the interesting side effects of our direct drilling systems, and particularly in no-till systems, is that the concentration of phosphorus and sometimes nitrogen in the soil is very stratified. You get a very high concentration of phosphorus in the top couple of centimetres of soil and a relatively low concentration at about 10 centimetres depth. Now compare the old days when we did soil testing on conventionally cultivated soils. If you sampled in 1 inch intervals, you'd get the same answer in the top inch, the second inch, the third inch and the fourth inch. But what's happening in direct drilled systems is that we're getting a very high concentration in the top inch and a low concentration in the bottom inch, or the bottom 8 to 10 centimetres. Now that's got an interesting effect on plant growth. Conyers over 20 years ago showed that in direct drilled systems plants needed more phosphorus fertiliser. Why? Because we're sowing the seed below that top inch. The emerging seminal roots don't see that high P concentration. They see a much lower P concentration, and so the phosphorus demand appears to be increased. Now that wasn't a lot of site years in that trial. What we have now, Cole McMaster is doing postgraduate work comparing P response trials with cultivation and under ongoing no-till to see how the P responses of a range of crops varies between those tillage management systems. At this stage, all we can say is, depending on the boot that you're using when you sow, you're likely to have an overestimate of the available phosphorus at a given soil test level. Direct drilling actually minimises, or appears to minimise, the availability of phosphorus. Jury's still out. We don't know the size of the effects other than on Peter Cornish's 2 trials. But listen for Cole McMaster at GRDC updates and you'll find out how big an issue that is. But there's yet another one of those examples of an unforeseen or unintended side effect of no-till farming systems, this time on the availability of phosphorus.